The break is over, folks. Bleach returns with Chapter 523, Words of Origin. So, Ichigo and Renji have to face off against the Asachi, nameless Zanpakuto that can change into anything as they are the basic form before a Shinigami projects their soul into it to construct it. These Asachi were created by none other than Uetsu, which is pretty cool. Wasn't sure how it would be explained how one person can create a Zanpakuto spirit, but really he just created the form that would eventually evolve into the Shinigami's power. Good job with that, Kubo. So then Uetsu goes on about how Ichigo and Renji are using their Zanpakuto wrong, with it being a tool, a subordinate, a buddy, a lover, yada yada yada, and he asks them which is on top, the Shinigami or the Zanpakuto. Boy, isn't that kind of a personal question? Cut to Soul Society. Underground prison, Mukin. Kenpachi arrives and he's looking great. Doesn't appear as though he had the crap kicked out of him by a fake Bach that supposedly kept him from being a captain ever again. Anyway, he's there to meet Captain Unohana, who's looking really creepy with her hair down. In fact, does anyone else think she kind of looks similar to Asnot? They talk about being criminals, why they chose to fight in Mukin, and each of them has a scar that still pains them. Perhaps meaning that this isn't the first fight they've gotten into? There's a brief flashback to Unohana being a captain of the original and fairly evil Gotai 13. She started the 11th Division and was a master of swordsmanship. This worries Shunsui though, because he believes that when these two clash swords, it's likely one of them is going to die. Great chapter, I'd have to say. We didn't spend too much time with Ichigo, but when we did, we got a good explanation as to how Uetsu could be known as the creator of the Zanpakuto. Don't know how they'll be able to stand up against the Asachi, but I look forward to that fight. And on to what everybody's going to be talking about this week, Kenpachi versus Unohana. This was really cool to see. Unohana letting her hair down, taking shit seriously, while Kenpachi has mysteriously recovered and is ready to kill. There was the whole criminal speech they had, the purpose of the Mukin training and whatnot, but what was the most interesting for me was the sharing of the scars that they have. I believe that their conversation implies that these two have definitely fought before. Hopefully, if that's the case, we get a flashback of it and see how these two didn't end up killing each other the first time around. I doubt we'll see the fight continue next week. I've got a feeling Kubo's going to go back to Ichigo and Renji or show us how a completely different group is doing. I am worried though that Kenpachi versus Unohana is going to finish off screen. People are not going to be happy, Kubo, if you pull that again, because we all know you have a tendency to have off-screen battles conclude. Don't do it. Overall, this was a great chapter to kick off the new year. The explanation of the Asachi was cool, and of course, Unohana and Zaraki are badass. For my question of the week, do you think either Kenpachi or Unohana will die during this fight? And do you also believe that these two have had confrontation before? That is it for this week. Remember to leave your thoughts on the chapter and answers to the questions of the week in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more weekly Bleach chapter reviews, and I shall return next week for 524. Peace.